From the Virgil, a production of the A&A Media Group and Consider It Done Productions. Award-winning, aging, and awesome. Here are your hosts, Kai Sisson and Aaron Breen.
Welcome to the Virgil. Thank you for being here, and a special thank you to all our veterans. Thank you for your service. While this is a time of year we publicly honor you, please know that we are thankful for your service every day of the year. Right, Breen?
Absolutely we are. And you know what? We're going to be meeting a very special local veteran and profiling all of her service, which just might surprise you when you see what she did in the military. We're going to do all that tonight. But first, do you even know what a reverse mortgage is? Or how they work? Well, we're going to talk to a local expert, Tom McDonald. He's here to explain them to us. Plus, we'll be taking questions that you might have about all the overwhelming Medicare advertising that we have out there right now.
And later in the show, we unveil a new segment and a new member of the Aging and Awesome family tonight. Could you ask for any more than that, Breen?
I don't think we could. But tonight we're showcasing a woman who spent a good part of her military career delivering smiles to those in service around the world.
Master Sergeant Sandy Tembor enlisted as she graduated high school to serve in security and communications. Now, her God-given talent made her the star of many USO shows worldwide. And as you'll see here, she knew early on that the military would be her future.
Because I was from such a large family, I knew the only way I was going to go to college was get a scholarship. And so I started entering a lot of the beauty pageants and stuff like that. I was Junior Miss San Diego, and I and Miss San Diego, who is the other gal, we were doing an event with Bob Hope, and that's when we got tagged to go on tour, on a USO tour.
She was still in high school.
And their motto is Semper Fidelis. That means, oh, don't worry about it, Doc. Just nail it back on.
Bob Hope was synonymous with USO shows for 40 years.
Looks like I like the likes of you.
That man did more for our armed forces than probably any one single person. He was an incredible human being. The man was a consummate professional.
Well, that experience at only 17 led her to join the military herself when she graduated high school.
I thought, this is an opportunity to get out and see the world, get away from San Diego, where I'd grown up, and just have a big adventure.
She went in as a linguistics and communications expert, but was quickly recruited by the Air Force Band.
I didn't know at the time when I went in, but the Air Force put a huge emphasis on the arts. In fact, a lot of people don't know it, but the OJs, they were an Air Force talent competition. Jerry Van Dyke, Flip Wilson, Rich Little, Sinbad.
Like those stars, Sandy pursued her art, touring the world, singing every style of music you can imagine.
There would be the big band, 67 pieces, and then there was the country band, and there was the rock band, and then there was the blues or the jazz band, or a stage band. And we had multiple male singers, but we only had a female. So guess what? I got to do all of them.
It was a lot of fun, but it wasn't all costume changes and stage shows. She also taught. In fact, she became a director of education in communications, leadership, and world studies. And while she wasn't in combat herself, she dealt with a lot that was just a part of the system back then. For instance, there weren't a lot of women even allowed in, so they were far outnumbered.
You were outnumbered probably 40,000 to 1, you know. Women had to take more tests than men. In 1972, they had to submit photos of the female applicants as with their application.
And she was a part of history.
I graduated from basic training under the first flight of women under the new law that said we could stay in, be married, have a family, and have a military career. So there weren't a lot of women ahead of us. We were that pioneering group.
And now she sings for seniors and veterans every chance she gets.
These seniors are so grateful for somebody to come in and entertain them in music that they can relate to.
And she's grateful for the experience of being a veteran.
It was an amazing career. Erin, I can't even tell you, 22 and a half years, it went by like that.
What an amazing life she's led. It's so great to see she still sings for the vets and seniors in the area.
Boy, she does. And again, we want to add our heartfelt thanks to all of our veterans out there and remind you all that the veterans will be honored at the Northern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery out in Fernley on Veterans Day, starting at 11 o'clock this coming Thursday.
Now don't you go nowhere, because we have a lot to get to, including some clarity on all the Medicare annual enrollment advertising you've been seeing with experts from the Medicare store. We'll learn all about reverse mortgages from Tom McDonald with Mutual of Omaha, and we take a traveling trivia tour in my cab. But first, we reconvene with Erin Breen in 90 seconds.
Thinking about moving or downsizing? You should meet my good friend Marsha Rambo with Realty One Group Eminence, with over 35 years experience and specializing in helping older people. If you're looking for a home that better fits your lifestyle, Marsha is the right person for you.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Marcia Rambo, and I'm a realtor. I'll help you find the right home at any stage of your life. Whether you're considering selling your home or making a purchase, give me a call at 775-395-9133. Together, we'll make a plan that will best work for you.
Call Marsha today and tell her I sent you.
Eden Home Health is Northern Nevada's highest-rated home health for quality of patient care. You have a choice. Ask your doctor for the best in-home health care, Eden Home Health. And Eden Hospice. The personalized care team at Eden Hospice is dedicated to focusing on your loved one's quality of life during a difficult time. Eden Hospice's mission is to ensure dignity for every patient. Find out how Eden Hospice can help your family by calling 841-6123.
Erin Breen here. If you have Medicare, you already know that good health care starts with choosing the right Medicare plan. That's why I'm here at the Medicare store, where they offer free, unbiased, personal Medicare advice. So come by or visit themedicarestore.com.
Hablamos español.
Well, hello there. Have you ever noticed that sometimes traveling is for fun, and sometimes it's for something more serious? Well, I actually just got back from a week with some of my family members. It's kind of a trip I feel I need to take at least once a year, just to kind of check in and see how my siblings are doing. And here's what I've learned. Even though you may be going somewhere for a serious reason, it doesn't mean you can't look around and see what's fun there. This year, I met a couple of my sisters in Long Beach, Washington. Not far from where we all used to live and where they still do live, yet it was full of things that I had never even heard of before. For instance, they say that they have the longest peninsula beach in the world. The world! And they do have an arch claiming that to be the case, and you know what? It lights up at night. But wait, there's more. There's an actual cranberry museum there. That's right, Washington State harvests more than 900 million pounds of cranberries a year. The cranberries that we'll all be eating for Thanksgiving this year are part of the annual harvest there, which is a really big deal for that little city. One of my sisters found a sustainable farm there where the goats they raise also paint pictures you can buy that help with the cost on the farm. And in the middle of town, they celebrate the annual clam festival with not just a giant clam that, get this, for a quarter shoots water on demand, but the world's largest frying pan. And we even saw what Lewis and Clark saw as they rounded the bend at Cape Disappointment, which I am here to tell you is not a disappointment at all. It's beautiful. Okay, so it wasn't Mount Kilimanjaro, it wasn't Hawaii's volcanoes, and it wasn't the pyramids of Egypt, or even the famous ball of twine in Cawker City, Kansas, everybody talks about. But the world's largest frying pan? Come on, that's something to see. So no matter where you go, I say keep your eyes open. For Aging and Awesome, I'm Erin Breen.
Reconvene with Erin Breen is presented by the Medicare Store. The Medicare Store is local and gives free, unbiased, personal Medicare advice. Visit the Medicare store today.
At Reno Eye Institute, you'll get the attention you deserve from a doctor who cares.
I came to Dr. Freeman because I needed cataract surgery. I needed it on both eyes, and Dr. Freeman was one of the few who could get me in right away. He cares about me, and I love him for that. I can't say enough as to how well he takes care of you.
At Reno Eye Institute, our focus is you.
Now accepting new patients. Call Reno Eye Institute today at 451-7268.
Do you or a loved one live in a nursing home? Do you know that you have rights? All residents have rights guaranteed by the Federal Nursing Home Reform Law. They include the right to be treated with dignity and respect, to privacy, and to develop a comprehensive plan of care with the staff. Other rights include the right to be fully informed about care and treatment options and to file grievances. There are protections in case of involuntary discharge or transfer. Know your rights. For more information about residents' rights or questions or concerns, contact your long-term care ombudsman program. They are advocates that promote and protect the rights of residents in licensed long-term care facilities. Visit www.theconsumervoice.org for more information. That's www.theconsumervoice.org. Theconsumervoice.org.
Ageless Expos, Nevada's free expos for seniors and active adults over 50. Friday, November 19th, Casino Fandango in Carson City. Saturday, November 20th, Atlantis Hotel and Casino in Reno. Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th. AgelessExpos.com.
The Better Business Bureau investigates and reports on scams that hurt consumers through the BBB Scam Tracker website. Here, some people share their stories, and others educate themselves. And together, we empower our community.
Welcome back. We are coming to you from the Senior Care Plus building over on Del Monte, and we are so happy now to be joined by Tom McDonald. Thank you very much. You are with Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgages.
That's correct.
I think one thing people get confused about is what exactly a reverse mortgage is. It's a different kind of a loan, right?
Right. For starters, it's just a mortgage. Some people think that the bank takes your house, and that's not the case. Briefly, it's a way to access the equity in your home, but not making monthly mortgage payments. There is a mortgage payment at the end when you sell, move, or pass away. But fairly straightforward, but it is just a mortgage.
And you can use it in a lot of different ways. In fact, didn't you buy a house with a reverse mortgage?
I did. I bought my house here in Reno with a reverse mortgage. Given that I've been doing this for almost 20 years, I knew how to use a reverse mortgage strategically. So for me, I was able to make a down payment and then move into the house without making monthly mortgage payments.
Okay, and you can, is this a second house or?
No, this is my primary residence.
Primary residence,
the reverse
right?
mortgage has to be a primary residence. And so I knew, because I set it up with the line of credit option, I wanted that for a couple different reasons. I wanted the line of credit to be able to grow for me to use later in life, and the peace of mind not having a monthly mortgage payment. Now the down payment's a little different than a regular mortgage. On a regular mortgage, it might be 20% or maybe even less. On a reverse, it needs to be closer to 50% to provide the equity for a reverse mortgage to work. And the nice part about the line of credit, you're not charged interest on that. It's with some of the leftover equity that you may not have already used to pay off a mortgage or take monthly payments to yourself, but it grows over time. It grows at the same interest rate you're charged on the money you're borrowing. And so later in life, that can be quite a big number. It compounds. So there can be a lot of money there later in life when maybe you need in-home care or some other needs that might pop up.
And as you said, you can use it for anything. So you can use it, you may need it for long-term care, but you can also do something fun with it, like go on a cruise.
Well, you hit a good little button there. Because I don't have monthly mortgage payments, I have the peace of mind of knowing that that's not necessary. I've been on a cruise kick lately. There are people who, most of the time they say to me, I don't need a reverse mortgage. I'm doing just fine. I don't have mortgage payments. I can pay all my bills. But what they don't realize is, one, things change in their life. And so they don't know what the future holds. For starters, if there's a couple and one of them passes away, their income's reduced, usually by the elimination of at least one of the Social Security checks and maybe even a pension, depending on how they design that. It may be that having that line of credit just sitting there growing and being more money later in life is the right thing for them.
So not only is it a part of the financial puzzle, this puzzle keeps changing as we age, right?
I'd say anyone over 62 should look into it and understand how it could affect them. They may not choose to do it. They may find advantages in doing it. But they don't know what they don't know. Sometimes people already have a mortgage, and they might be doing okay. Their income's about equal to their outgo. They're keeping up, but maybe not much more. And so there's a lot of things maybe they're not enjoying their life as much because of that. But if they don't have that mortgage payment and they just have the income that offsets that, they might be able to enjoy their life a lot more.
Which is like you're doing with the cruises.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Closed captioning for Aging and Awesome is brought to you by...
Even with more than 1 million people cared for by hospice each year, the decision to call hospice is never easy. However, at Infinity Hospice Care, many families tell us they wish they would have contacted us sooner. And with hospice being covered by Medicare and most insurance, the decision to get your loved ones the help they need is even easier. Plus, the registered nurses at Infinity Hospice Care are available 24/7. To learn if we can help, go to infinityhospicecare.com.
Welcome back to award-winning Aging and Awesome. Right now is Medicare's annual enrollment period, and odds are you have seen dozens and dozens of all sorts of media commercials to call and evaluate your Medicare plan. But the majority of those advertisements are from national companies in a faraway cubicle who might not know all the plans available to you right here in Northern Nevada. So joining us now is Drew Lorenz. He's with the Medicare store, locally owned here in Northern Nevada. Drew, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me back. Excited to be with you today.
Yeah, just talking to some of our live studio audience members, they've been inundated with all these commercials. Some are blatantly national spots, very bland, 1-800 blah, blah, blah. But then some are like borderline condescending and offensive, I think, to older people. How do people sort through these Medicare spots to reevaluate their plan?
Yeah, some are pulling on some stereotypical tropes and things like that that are maybe not rubbing people the right way from the people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And everybody's mailbox, I'm sure, is overflowing with Medicare this, Medicare that, this company, that company, and it becomes so overwhelming. But that constant thing that you hear this entire season is call this number, call this number, call this number, call this number. And people start to get curious and go, well, maybe I should call that number and talk to somebody. What they don't know is they're not a local agent that knows the doctors, the doctor groups, the hospitals. You could tell somebody on that 1-800 number, yeah, I went down to that hospital, and they go, oh yeah, sure. But they don't actually,
I know that hospital.
They don't actually know that hospital. They don't know those doctors. Those are the types of relationships we build in the community so that if you have an issue with your Medicare, with your medical coverage, maybe even with a provider and say, you know what, we don't see eye to eye on things. I need to find a new primary doctor because we're not talking the same language. I want to do more natural stuff and they want to do more pills and things like that. Well, hey, let's find you somebody that meets your medical needs.
Right, and I think licensed insurance agents such as yourself that are in Nevada, in Northern Nevada, you guys know all the plans where when you call an 800 number, they have contracts with their set of providers where you know the providers right here in town.
Yeah, and especially here we have some regional carriers. Carriers that are not in all 50 states. And when you call that 1-800 number, they got the big ones.
Yes.
They don't have maybe some of these more regional locations that honestly do an awesome job of serving not only our community, but their community too.
Well, we have a wonderful live studio audience member here today, Gina from Dayton. Gina, you have a story to tell everyone about calling one of those 1-800 numbers. What is it?
Unfortunately, I did call the football number, and they tell you everything is just fine, but it was so inconvenient during this past year of having the Advantage plan with them. And Advantage is great, but they did not know our area. Our Carson Tahoe Hospital, which we go to if we had to, was not on the plan. I called once to find out if where I was getting my blood test was on the plan, and they told me, oh, there's no one within 100 miles. I said, wait a minute, I'm 15 miles from Reno. But they insisted there was no one on the plan. So it was very inconvenient, and They were just selling me insurance.
Unfortunately, this is not the first time I've heard that type of story, where somebody gets placed onto a plan that doesn't suit them. And that's where the Medicare store really comes in, and that's where we try to excel, is in providing that very personalized customer service level to your Medicare plan to know my doctors are in network, the hospitals that I need to go to are in network, my lab services. We can search all of those things beforehand, before you ever say, yep, sign right here, that's the plan for me for next year. We're local, we're here, you can pop in anytime. I know a lot of the agents enjoy if you bring cookies or donuts, so just throwing that out there if anybody wants to. But thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Drew, for coming on the show. If you'd like to contact Drew in the Medicare store, they're actually right across the street from the Social Security office on Vassar here in Reno, and the number on your screen. Give them a call. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Drew.
Thanks, Kai. Now, don't go away because Kai's already got another contestant in his cab. Will they know enough trivia to win? Find out after this.
Life is story. Pages of amazing adventure and narrow escapes. Bold steps taken, races run, chapters on love and hard lessons and new beginnings. Your life, your legacy, our privilege to serve. Morningstar Senior Living.
Living at Lakeside Manor, an independent senior living community in the heart of Reno, means pleasure for the residents and peace of mind for their families. Rooms are available now, starting at $15.80 a month. Take a tour of Lakeside Manor today.
Ageless Expos, Nevada's free expos for seniors and active adults over 50. Friday, November 19th, Casino Fandango in Carson City. Saturday, November 20th, Atlantis Hotel and Casino in Reno. Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th. AgelessExpos.com.
Why enroll in Senior Care Plus?
I recommend Senior Care Plus to friends and acquaintances because they're local, and I like that.
Enroll now online or call 775-982-3158.
Welcome aboard. It's a very special day in Kai's cab. Not only do we have someone here for a rematch in the vehicle, we have a furry friend. Hi, Kat. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here again.
Who is that next to you?
This is my little girl, Cadence. She's the love of my life.
Hi, Cadence. Welcome to the cab. You called her your little girl and the love of your life, so I'm assuming you two are going to be working together to answer these questions,
Oh,
right?
most definitely. She's going to be my lifeline.
Your lifeline. Well, welcome back, Kat. Last time you won, and I just want to thank you because you're such an enthusiastic, bright, wonderful participant of Aging and Awesome, and I just couldn't be more thankful for you. So I hope you win again, okay?
Yeah, I just love being here.
All right, Kat, here we go. Get
All
3
right.
out of 4 questions right today, and you are a winner of some chocolate. You ready to play?
I am ready.
Cadence, are you ready to play? Question number 1. Great Britain and Ireland are separated by which sea? A, the Irish Sea, B, the British Sea, or C, the Baltic Sea?
The Irish Sea?
The Irish Sea, is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Oh, yay!
Didn't even need Breen's help there. I'm sure she knew that one. She's our Irish expert. Good, okay, wonderful. You got the first one right, Kat and Cadence. Ready for question number 2?
I'm ready.
Question number 2. Which of the following insects can bite humans and spread malaria? A, flies, B, cockroaches, or C, mosquitoes?
What do you think, Cadence? She said mosquitoes.
Cadence, mosquitoes, final answer?
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes is correct. Malaria, bad thing, but yes, mosquito,
Yes.
correct. Cadence got that one right, so I'll give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
All right, Kat and Cadence, here we go. Third question, get this one right and you're a winner. Question number 3. Which legendary hero in English folklore is known for stealing from the rich and giving to the poor? Is it A, Arthur, B, Robin Hood, or C, Hercules?
It's B, Robin Hood.
Wait, I feel like that was too easy. Wait a minute, hold on. We gotta redo this. No, Kat, you won some chocolate. Cadence, I'll give you some milk bones next time, all right? Anything you'd like to say to our audience, Kat? I know you love to talk.
Well, I think I'll quote John Wayne, "Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway," which is words of wisdom for anything you do, because when you're afraid to try new things, then you don't get to experience life to its fullest.
That is exactly why I created Aging and Awesome, and we do this, Cab, so you can spread wonderful messages like that.
Thank you.
Kat, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
It was
awesome.
a blast.
Thanks, Cadence.
Kai's Cab is presented by Senior Care Plus, the only Nevada-based not-for-profit Medicare Advantage plan serving Washoe County and Carson City. Senior Care Plus, for the healthiest reasons.
Coming up next week, caregivers. They are the unsung heroes of COVID, but also they're heroes for a lot of families out there that have members with failing health. So we're going to show you how caregivers are being recognized and honored by a local organization. That's next Saturday, right here on CBS Reno, starting at 7.
And that brings us to a new segment here on Aging and Awesome. We get a lot of emails, good and bad, and we've decided to answer some of them on the air. So we put someone in charge of that, which is going to be pretty funny.
And you know what? You may recognize him. Van Vinico, he's of the group The String Beans in town, and he's joining our family as our correspondent, answering our emails.
So, Van, what do you got for us today?
I'd like to share an experience I had last week outside of Fernley at the Veterans Cemetery. I do play a few pro bono, fancy word for free, funerals for the veterans. I'm a proud Nevadan, like to donate, be part of the community. Well, I don't know what happened, but I must have had bad directions, because by the time I got there, I was like 30 minutes late. There's only a couple of workmen with shovels, putting dirt in the hole, and I thought, I've driven all the way out here. I'm just, why not? So I got my violin out and played the requested song. And put my violin back in the case, and one of the workmen, they taken off their hats and were very respectful, and one turned to the other and said, "I put in a lot of septic tanks, but never with a violin serenade."
Thanks, Van. Now, if you have any questions we can answer for you, or Van can rather, or me, or Varen, whatever, send them attention Van's violin case at agingandawesome@gmail.com. Again, thank you to the Virgil, our live studio audience, and all of you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.